Hi, I'm Nikki from Find Me Crafting. This week I have not just one crochet pattern, but two crochet patterns for these adorable marshmallow mug hats. There's the Easter basket, everything's glued in, nothing's coming out, super cute. Or I've got the cute little bunny. And you can choose to add flowers or decorations on top or go a little more simplistic, whatever your choice. Make one for yourself, make one to give away, make the whole set. The patterns for January, February, and March are already up on my website, and there's videos on YouTube for all of them. Come on, I'll show you how. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any projects or patterns.
I'm going to be showing you how to do this section right here on one of these adorable little Easter bunny hats for the marshmallow mugs. I'm going to be using this yarn. This is gray confetti from I Love This Yarn. And I'm going to be using a G 4mm hook. I am to row 11 in this pattern. This pattern is available for free on my website. The link is in the description box down below. But all I've done so far is start with a magic circle, and then I increased until I got to row 7, and by that point I had 36 stitches, and then I did rows 7, 8, 9, and 10, just one in each stitch around. So there's 36 single crochets at this point, and I just wanted to point out that row 11, which is the one I'm on, I just need to do a little bit looser. It makes life easier for row 12. So I'm going to go under my loop, I'm going to pull up a loop. I now have 2 on, and I'm just going to leave it a little bit looser, not pull it as tight, and yarn over and pull through. And I'm just going to do one like that, just a little bit looser all the way around, all 36 single crochets in row 11. I'm back around to where I started, and I'm going to slip stitch to my first stitch and then just chain 1. So now I'm on to row 12. Like I said, this pattern is on my website. And what we're going to do is work in the 3rd loop. So I'm going to pull this up a little here. So these, normally we work under this loop here. You would stick your hook underneath both of those loops. Those are our regular ones. If you turn it slightly, right back here, this is the 3rd loop right here. And we're going to be working into that. It helps create the band. So you're going to do a regular single crochet just under that 3rd loop. So here's our first regular 2 loops. Turn it just a little bit, and you're going to want to stick your hook underneath that 3rd loop. I kind of come at it from the side. Usually I'm a right-handed crocheter, so I come at a little bit from the right. I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through. So see right here, back here is this 3rd loop right here. I'm going to stick my crochet hook underneath just like that. That's why you want it to be a little bit looser, because otherwise you have to really kind of jam it in there. So when I pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. So right here it is, kind of go from the right to the left. That's how I work it, just like that. And we're going to do 1 in each stitch around. Try to keep these a little bit looser too. And it'll be 36 single crochets all the way around the hat. Another way to think about it, it's almost like you shove the regular loops kind of out of your way, and then it exposes this loop, and you just go underneath and pull up a loop and go under, just like that. Once you get into the rhythm of it, it's very easy now that you know what to look for. I've gotten back around to where I started. I have 36 of these single crochets, and I'm just going to once again slip stitch to my first stitch and then chain 1. The next row, this is row 13, I'm going to work just like any other regular single crochet under both loops. And I'm just going to go right here underneath both loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. And I'm going to do that all the way around. It's another 36 single crochets, and these are just normal ones, just regular underneath both loops all the way around. All right, 36 single crochets around, and I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet and chain 1, and we're going back to the 3rd loop for this row. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to show you without getting my hand in my way. Right here, I kind of shove the top loops out of my way and shoot for that third loop. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. See, I kind of push this out of my way and just slide this in from the right. That's my third loop around, and we're going to once again just do 36, one in each stitch all the way around. I've got my 36. You can see that now you have 2 of these ridges, and I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, chain 1, and you guessed it, the next row is just a row of regular single crochet under both loops. And back around to the start again. I'm once again going to slip stitch to my first single crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and for our 16th and final row, I'm just going to work in the third loop again. So turn your work toward you, kind of shove those first 2 loops out of the way and go right underneath that third loop. That first one is always the tightest, it feels like to me, at least mine. So I'm going to kind of move that out of the way. And there's my third loop. And I'm just going to do another 36. Once you're back around to the start, all you're going to do to finish off is once again slip stitch under your first single crochet. No chain, and then we're going to just snip off enough that we can weave in. And I'm going to finish it off by pulling this through and just weave in that end. And the base portion of the hat is done. Look how cute that is. I'm loving this yarn. It's so cute. Okay, I'm going to be showing you how to make the bunny's ears. They're like this, and we need to make 4 of these crocheted pieces so that we can crochet them together. That makes them stiff enough that they will stand up on their own. So I'm still using the same yarn, and I'm still using my G 4mm hook. I'm going to start with a slip knot. Here we go. I'm going to pull up a loop here like this, and I'm going to chain 11. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11. So there's all your chains, and we're going to be working into these chain stitches. We're going to start in the second chain from the hook. So here's the first chain right by where your hook would be, and I'm going to be working into the second one right here, the second chain from your hook. And we're going to start with 2 single crochets. So in the second chain, I'm going to go underneath the loop. I'm going to pull up a loop, 2 loops on, yarn over, pull through. That's 1. Now in the next chain, I'm going to go underneath that loop, pull up a loop. I have 2 loops on, yarn over, pull through. That is 2 single crochets. Now I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go underneath that loop, the next stitch, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. That's the first half double crochet. I need to do 1 more like that. Yarn over, go underneath the next loop, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through. That's 2 half double crochets. I now need to do 3 double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, go underneath the next loop, pull up a loop. There are 3 on. Now I'm going to yarn over and just pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the other 2. That's 1 half double, or not, that's 1 double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, go underneath this loop, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 more. That was 2 double crochets. I need 1 more. Yarn over, go underneath the next loop, pull up a loop, 3 on, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. So we kind of start small, then we're going to get fat in the middle of the ear, and then now we're going to go small again. So after the double crochets, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Yarn over, go underneath the next loop, pull up a loop. There's 3 on, yarn over and pull through all 3. That's a half double. I'm going to do 1 single crochet under the next loop. So go under, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. Now there is 1 more chain here. In this chain, we want to work 3 single crochets all in that same chain. So I'm going to go underneath that loop, pull up a loop, 2 on, yarn over, pull through. I'm going to kind of turn the ear because I want to end up working on this side over here. So now on my second one, I'm going to go underneath. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops. Now let's turn it completely around. I'm going to go underneath, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through three, or that's my third single crochet. And now we are working on the back side of what was your chain. And we're just going to do what we just did, kind of in reverse. So we're going to go underneath these loops and do just one single crochet. So I'm going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. That's one single crochet. Now we're going to do a half double. So yarn over first, go underneath your loops, pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through. That's one half double. I need to do those 3 double crochets. So yarn over, go underneath the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, and then yarn over through 2 more. That's my first double crochet. Yarn over, go underneath, pull up a loop. There's 3 on, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2 more. That's my second double crochet. I need to do 1 more. Yarn over, underneath the loops, pull up a loop. There's 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. That's my third double crochet. I need to do 2 half doubles next. So yarn over, go underneath my loops, pull up a loop. Here's my 3 on, yarn over, go through all 3. That's 1 half double crochet. I'm going to do 1 more like that. So yarn over, go underneath my loops, pull up a loop, 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. I just have 2 more and they're both single crochets. So I'm going to go underneath, pull up a loop. There's just 2 loops on, yarn over, pull through, go underneath this last loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. Now here's your the first one you did all the way back there. I'm going to slip stitch underneath that. So I go underneath both loops, pull up a loop, and just pull through both. And that is 1 side of an ear. So I need to make 3 more like this. Now to attach the ears, once you have them done, I wove in all the ends on one ear, and then on the other, I left my yarn attached after I finished it. I did weave in the starting end, and all you have to do is then I put my backs together, and I'm gonna just slip stitch around both. So I hold them together like this. You go under both loops on both sides. So here's both loops here on this one that's in the front. Here's both loops in the back. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all of those, and pull through the loop on my hook. And I'm just going to go all the way around. So here's the 2 loops on one side, the 2 loops on the other side, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. And you go all the way around the ear. Once you get back to the start, you don't have to slip stitch, you just cut it off your tail. And I'm going to just pull this through, finish it off, and I'm going to weave in this end. I don't leave anything to attach because I'm going to hot glue this onto the top of the hat. I don't want to stitch it on, that's a colossal pain. So for the inside of the ears, I have this template available on my website, or you could just freehand it, whatever you want to do. But I just printed this off on cardstock, and I'm just going to cut one out to use to trace around as a template for the inside of my ears. Okay, so there's the center. Now, you can use any kind of fabric you want. These are the ones I'm planning on using for the different ears that I'm making. You can use any kind of, this is just cotton fabric. These are my scraps. And I'm going to trace my shape on the back side of this and cut it out. For this one, I'm going to use felt. So I have this scrap piece of felt. You can see I've cut all kinds of crazy stuff out of it. And I'm just going to trace around my template. Now, you should really use a fabric marking pen for this, but I'm going to be honest, I'm just using Sharpie because it shows up really well. I'm going to try to trim that off. And this would be the back side. Felt is, reversible. So I'm just going to use this as my back so you won't see it. I'm just going to hot glue my little felt ear pieces into the center here. Now, when attaching the ears themselves, I'm going to put it on my mug and then situate things so I know I want it. So there's a seam up the back here This is my seam. I want that to go on the back. So I'm gonna put that on the back of the hat like this. And then I am just gonna apply some glue and stick them on just like this. Once you get your bunny ears glued on, it's adorable. Now, you can add other things. These are plastic, flat-backed flowers. They're not even buttons. They're just little cute flowers. I got these from the Easter section at Hobby Lobby. These are paper flowers that I found, I believe, also at Hobby Lobby. And you can glue on whatever you like, real or like, you can also glue on artificial flowers, whatever. I'm going to leave this one plain because I like him with just his little speckles. Just like that. Look how adorable. I love it. I'm going to show you how to do some of the interesting, more unusual parts of this cute little Easter basket mug hat. This one is made out of, I love this yarn in light taupe. The one I'm going to be making right now is Yarn ID in Fawn. So what I've gone ahead and done, oh, I should also mention I'm working with a G 4mm hook. And what I've done is the first 7 rows. This pattern is also on my website for free. And this is just a magic circle and some increases to get to 42 stitches here. So on row 8, we're going to do something a little bit different. I just chained 1. And what we're going to be doing first is this portion of the hat, the top part that holds things. So I've just done underneath here, if you look, this is the part up till row 7 through row 7. And right now we're going to be doing this section. So I'm going to be working in the front loop. I'm going to do a half double crochet in the front loop. So here's our 2 loops. These are the loops we always go underneath to do regular stitches, just like this. Right now we're going to be working under just the front loop, the loop closest to you. So I'm going to do a half double crochet starting in this stitch right next to where I chained, or not chained, where I slip stitched. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go under just this front loop. I'm going to pull up a loop and pull it through. Now I have 3 loops on. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. So that is all you need to do all the way around. I'm going to yarn over, go under just this front loop. See right here, like kind of through the middle. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through. So there's going to be 42 of these. Yarn over, go up kind of through the middle, just go through your front loop, yarn over, pull through, and go all the way around. Okay, I've made it back around to where I started. I'm going to slip stitch underneath the first stitch that I made. So I'm going to go underneath both loops. I'm going to pull a loop through there and through the loop that was on my hook. I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm ready to do the next row, which is going to be a row of reverse single crochets. It's also called a crab stitch. And really it's just like a regular single crochet, but we're going to go in reverse. So normally you would work this way around your circle. This time we're going to work this way. So you're going to act like you're doing a single crochet, but just go backwards. So I'm going to twist my hook around. I'm going to go underneath the loops behind where I just stitched, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. My next one is going to be in this loop right here, back behind. So underneath both loops, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on, although they're kind of close, it's hard to see. Yarn over, pull through. So I'm going to go underneath these. I'm just going to go 1 to the right each time. Go underneath, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, and that's it. That's all you have to do all the way around is this reverse single crochet. I've gotten back to where I started. This is what this looks like. And I'm going to give myself some yarn here. I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to pull it through just like that. And then I'm going to attach this piece to my first stitch with a yarn needle. And I'm just going to thread it underneath my first stitch. That. Don't pull too tight because then it makes it look weird. And then I go back under the last stitch that I made. And then I'm just going to weave in this end. So I wove in the other end from the start of my hat as well. And this is what you're left with. This is the top portion of the hat. So this is this base part that you can't really see because I glued on Easter grass. And then this portion, that's what we're doing. So now what we're going to do is work on this bottom part. So I'm going to attach a piece of yarn. So I'm going to do a slip stitch like we did at the beginning. The top portion is going to be facing you as you work. And we're going to be working in these stitches left. This is the back loop that we didn't work in. When we worked in the front loop to do this portion, it leaves behind this raised up back loop. And we're going to be working into that next. So I'm going to start here at the back where my seam is, just so we keep all the slightly uglier portions right there. So I'm going to put my hook underneath one of these back loops and into my slip knot. I'm just going to pull it through and I'm going to chain one just to hold it in place. And now all you need to do is do a half double crochet in the next 38 stitches. So not all the way around, you're going to leave 4 stitches undone, but we're going to do a half double in each of the rest. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go in that same stitch I just joined. I'm going to pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. That's 1 half double crochet. And I'm just going to do that all the way around under 38 of my back loops. I'm just going to decrease these last 4 stitches. See, I have 4 left right here. I'm going to decrease so that I end up with a total of 40 stitches at the end. Right now I have a total of 42. We want to end up with 40. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go under that back loop, which is just the only loop left. Now I'm going to turn it around and go underneath the next one. I'm going to pull a loop up and pull it through 2 of the loops on my hook. I have 3 loops left. Yarn over and pull through. So we just decreased by 1. We joined 2 together. I'm going to do that for this next 2. So I'm going to yarn over, go underneath 1 loop, and then moving my hook, I'm going to just go underneath the next loop. I'm going to pull up a loop and pull it through 2 of those. Here's 3 loops still on. Yarn over, pull through. If you count, that'll give you 40 stitches around. And we're going to join to the first stitch in our row. Chain 1, and we're ready for the next step. So now what we're going to do is work a number of rows using the posts. We're going to do 2 front post half double crochets. So normally we work under the loops right here. That's where we're going to put our stitch typically. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to go around this part underneath it. That's the post. So this stitch here, this is the post. And we're doing a half double crochet. So what we're going to do is yarn over. We're going to go from the front to the back. And then you're going to turn your hook and come around that stitch right here. So we're kind of just pushing it forward. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull it out past that post. Now you have 3 loops on. Yarn over and pull through. And that pushes this post forward. So let's do one more like that. This is the front post half double crochet. Yarn over. You go in from the front to the back. And you go around and come from the back to the front on that post. Just like that. Yarn over. Pull it out past the post. 3 loops on. Yarn over, pull through. That's 2 front post half double crochets. Now what we want to do in these next 2 is 2 back double crochets. So we want to pull them to the back. These are pushed forward. We're going to pull these to the back. So we yarn over. Now we go from the back to the front. You go to the left of that post and kind of go to the back. Yarn over. Pull it out past the post, kind of get it up here where you can see it. You have 3 loops on. Yarn over, pull through. That's 1. Now we're going to do one more like that. So yarn over, so back to the front, and we're going to go around this stitch here to the left. You're going to go like this to the back. yarn over and pull it out past your post, 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. So there's our pattern. We have 2 to the front, 2 to the back, 2 to the front, 2 to the back. So let's work on that one more time. We're gonna push these forward now. So I'm gonna yarn over, I'm gonna go front to back, and then back to front on the other side of the post. Yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on, yarn over and pull through. I'm gonna do one more like that. I'm going to yarn over, go inside, go from the, oh, that's not right, I'm sorry. Yarn over, go from the front to the back, and now we move to the side of that post and go from the back to the front. Yarn over, grab your yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. So here's 2 to the front, 2 to the back, 2 to the front again. Now we're going to do 2 to the back. So yarn over. Now we're going to go inside and go from the back to the front. Go to the left of your post, go to the front to the back. Grab your yarn and pull it out up here above the stitch. Yarn over, pull through. One more like that. So we yarn over. We're going to go inside, go from the back to the front. Stick your hook to the left of your post here, front to the back. Yarn over, pull it all the way through. 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. And we're going to just do that all the way around, making this cool sort of basket looking stitch. When you get back to the front, well, back to the first stitch, you should have, because it's 40 stitches, it's an even, you should have, you know, these 2 that come to the front, 2 that come to the back, and then you're starting 2 that come to the front. So it all is even and looks correct. So we're going to just slip stitch to this first one that we did. So you go into your loops, you pull up a loop and you pull through both, chain 1, and now you're ready to do that for like 4 more rows. And we just want it to look the same. So you're going to yarn over, and now right here, you're going to go underneath. So we're going to yarn over and go front to back. You're going to circle around behind it and come back to front. You're going to grab a loop. You're going to pull it through. You now have 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. So yarn over, front to back, and now back to front. Grab it, pull it through, yarn over, pull through. There's 2 more going to the front, and it's just going to look like it's all connected. Let's work on the backs. We're going to yarn over. You're going to go back to front and then front to back. Grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through. So yarn over, back to front, front to back. Grab it and pull it through, 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through, and just repeat around. That'll be another row, and you want to do a total of 5 rows of those front post and back post half double crochets. So I've done 5 rows of the front and back post half double crochets. This is what it looks like, and I just slip stitched to my first stitch right here and chained 1. There's just 1 row left, and it is very easy. You're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, just to bring it a little bit tighter to the mug when it's on. Then you're just going to slip stitch to your first single crochet and finish off. So now I'm going to create the handle for the basket. It's going to be like this. And I've picked sort of a coordinating color of a pipe cleaner. See, it doesn't match exactly my yarn, but that's okay because we're going to cover it completely in yarn. So I cut this to 6 3/4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to start with a slip knot. And I'm just going to attach it sort of over here at one end. I'm going to put it on actually. I'm going to put it on my hook like that. I'm going to wrap, I'm going to have my loop over here on one side. I'm going to wrap my yarn around to the back side, and I'm just going to first off single crochet just to attach it. And now I'm gonna work a couple of single crochets. I'm gonna go around the back. I'm gonna grab up my yarn, 2 loops on, yarn over, pull through. I'm just gonna do a couple of these, maybe 3 or 4. And then I'm gonna stop for a second, and I'm going to carefully push it down toward the end. You can kind of push your stitches this way, but not too far over. You don't want them falling off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this very tip of my pipe cleaner in toward my yarn, and now it's secured those so that they won't fall off the end here. And I go back, and I'm just going to work as many as it takes of the single crochets until I've covered this whole pipe cleaner. For me, that was about 40 stitches. But a little more, a little less, really doesn't matter. You just don't want this to be shown. At this point, I have about 22 stitches on, but you can see little bits of the pipe cleaner kind of showing through. So what I'm going to do is just, well, I guess remove my hook so it's out of my way. And I'm just going to squish these over kind of evenly. I want my stitches all on one side. Don't let them twist to the other side because you want it all to match. And I just squish them over so that, oops, so that it's all kind of even and covering it. And I'm going to go back to adding some on, but see how I squished it over, and now it's covering all of that fuzz from the pipe cleaner. So just keep working that until you're completely covered. So I've actually done 42 this time, and I've got this pretty even, and it appears to be covering all my pipe cleaner. I'm going to do the same thing at this end that I did at the other end, where I fold. Looking to see which end I bent in. I'm going to bend it to the same direction, although I'm not sure it really matters because I'm going to glue it on. I'm going to just bend the tip of the pipe cleaner to the back so that once again it holds my stitches. I'm going to cut off that and finish off my row. Tighten it up. I'm going to weave in these ends. Okay, so I've woven in my ends on this. I've woven in my ends on my handle. I put this onto one of the little marshmallow mugs so that I can space this exactly where I want to. So I'm gonna make sure that I've got the back at the back, and I'm gonna just apply some hot glue and glue it right here on the inside of my top. So I've placed what I have deemed an acceptable amount of Easter grass stuff on top of here, and I'm just gonna squeeze some glue onto the top of the hat while it's on the mug, just so that it's holding it in place, and I know this is how I want it to look. And I'm just gonna lightly press down on top so that I'm not burning myself, but I am gluing the grass in place. So now I'm gonna test out where I want these to go, how I want them to lay. And once I get them to where I think they look pretty good, I'm going to go around and I'm going to glue them in place. Put a little bit of glue on the back and plop it in there. And you can give it a little test, turn it upside down. As long as nothing falls out, then you're pretty well secured. Straighten out my basket and it's done. Look how adorable that is. Love it.
You're ready to decorate a bunch of marshmallow mugs. Don't forget to make some to give away so you can spread the cuteness around this Easter season. And if you follow along with me, we'll make the entire year's worth. Happy crafting!